A very good afternoon and welcome to BBC London. I'm Thomas Magill. First this lunchtime, have you had your mobile phone stolen in the capital? If so, you're not alone. New data has found that a device is reported stolen every 6 minutes here in London. Last year, that equated to 91,000 handsets, and on average, that's around 248 a day. The data also revealed that your chances of getting it back is slim, with only 2% of devices stolen ever recovered. The Met says policing this particular crime is difficult and that daily operations continue to take place. Here are two Londoners' stories of when they had their mobile phones stolen.
Hi, my name is Hannah Coles. I had my phone stolen here in Elephant and Castle.
My name is Sharon Brown-Peter and my phone was stolen on the 28th of February.
I had my phone in my pocket with my hand over it like this. I got slammed into this bus stop here. I don't really remember everything that happened, but I remember I was kind of on the floor here and the next minute my hand was kind of bent over, phone gone. And I just remember kind of lying on the floor, like looking up here and just watching someone run. They were completely covered, like head to toe in black. They had a balaclava on, they had the whole lot.
It was extremely traumatic. A bike rider who with a delivery bag was like passing by, and then he kind of did a U-turn when he noticed me. When he basically came close to me, he was asking me where I'm from, that I'm so beautiful, how old am I? And it felt very uncomfortable, and I kept telling him, sorry, I just don't want to talk to you right now. I'm not interested in talking to you right now. Please leave me alone. But he just kept persisting and started like inching closer, almost got off his bike. The moment I decided to do the typical thing, which is to pull out my phone and, you know, pretend as if I'm not listening to him anymore, he basically snatched my phone and ran off with his bike.
A murder investigation's begun in Chingford after a 17-year-old boy was stabbed to death. It happened last night in Longshore Road. No arrests have been made and inquiries are ongoing. Alice Bandacravi has just sent this report from the scene.
Well, police were called to a stabbing here on Longshore Road, a quiet road in Chingford, just after 9 o'clock last night. And they found the victim behind me, where there is now a police tent. Sadly, that person was declared dead at the scene, despite the best efforts of the emergency services and of members of the public who'd tried to save him. Now, police say that his next of kin have been informed, but the 17-year-old has not yet been named. But a murder investigation is underway. Forensics officers have been working at the scene here, and of course police want anyone with any information to come forward. Alice Bandacravi, BBC London in Chingford.
A British-Israeli woman who moved from London 9 years ago to the West Bank has died 3 days after being shot. 45-year-old Lucy D had been in a coma since the shooting, which also claimed the lives of 2 of her daughters. The family left London almost a decade ago, where Lucy's husband had served as a rabbi at the Radlett United Synagogue in Hertfordshire. Kensington and Chelsea say it is tackling rogue riders who dump rental e-bikes in the middle of the pavement. They want to create 164 designated spaces around the borough for new e-bike parking. They say the number of trips made by rental e-bikes has increased greatly in the borough over the last few years. The consultation into the plans ends next month. Now, on the 4-day strike by junior doctors that started this morning. The dispute is about pay, but many have talked about long hours and being overworked. Lydia, a junior doctor at a London hospital, has filmed a video diary for us of her experience on a night shift.
Hi everyone, my name is Lydia and I am a junior doctor currently working in London, and today I'm going to show you a day in the life of a junior doctor working a night shift. So it's now around 9 o'clock and I've just come back from handover. So what happens at handover is the day doctors will hand over to the night doctors, and this is where I basically discuss all of the patients that need to be seen overnight, any jobs that are outstanding that I need to chase throughout the day, and then any patients that I need to go and see urgently as well. So part of the role of a doctor, especially at night or on call, is holding this little machine called a bleep. So this is essentially a way in which lots of different members of staff from different wards or all around the hospital can get in touch with you with any questions, any concerns, if there's anyone they want you to see. And essentially it's a way of us keeping track of what's going on in different parts of the hospital. So we're about halfway through the shift so far. We've seen lots of patients, seen lots of infections, falls, people requiring x-rays, CTs, etc. And I've done lots of blood tests as well. So it's time to just sit down and go through all of the results and then action as necessary. So now it's time for a break. I'm just going to grab myself a quick coffee. It's around 4 o'clock. I've seen quite a few patients and it's really important to take a break where possible. Sometimes it gets really, really busy and you don't necessarily know when you're going to get a break, but today I've managed to find a couple of minutes to get a coffee and just rest for a little bit. Blood. So my bleep has just gone off, which means that someone somewhere needs me to go and see a patient or answer a question. So I'm gonna call back to see what it's about and then we'll go off and see how we can help. So I've just come to the end of my pretty long and exhausting 13-hour shift. It was a very busy night today, lots of patients to see. I am finishing a little bit late, which does often happen, especially when you've got lots of people that need to be seen and you've not got the numbers in terms of staff that you need. As always, it's a pleasure to help patients, but I am looking forward to having a really good rest.
The Health Secretary Steve Barclay says the government wants to reach what he calls a fair and reasonable settlement, recognising the hugely important role they play within the NHS, but says a demand for a 35% pay increase is not fair or reasonable. OK, is it set to get any warmer? Well, Sarah Thornton has the weather.
Good afternoon to you. We had a lovely start this morning, plenty of sunshine earlier on, but it's turned cloudy in the last couple of hours. That's because we've got some wet and windy weather on the horizon, pushing in from the south and west. Through the next couple of hours, some very, very heavy bursts of rain by the end of the afternoon. Temperatures at 14 Celsius, but the wind's starting to pick up. It will feel quite chilly. Wind gusts as all this comes through in excess of 40 miles an hour. But the rain will clear by the early hours of tomorrow morning. The winds will start to fall a little bit lighter as well. Still breezy into tomorrow morning, but not quite as gusty, and temperatures will fall away. Bit of a chilly start tomorrow morning, but we have another bout of wet and windy weather in the forecast for tomorrow. This area of low pressure is going to bring with it further showers, heavy ones for the afternoon, and a real squeeze on the isobar means we're going to have even windier weather through the latter part of tomorrow. At first, dry, sunny, lighter winds. The winds start to pick up though through the afternoon. Some heavy showers move across us, and those winds could gust in excess of 50 miles an hour. Here are your mean speed winds. It's the gusts that really are concerning. Cooler feel to things as well. And then at the end of the week, another area of low pressure bringing us further frontal bands for Friday. After that, though, things actually turn a little bit more settled. So although temperatures today are in the mid-teens with that wind picking up and the rain coming through, not feeling any great shakes for the rest of the day. And in the coming days, we'll have a cool start tomorrow, cool feel tomorrow with those very gusty winds through the afternoon and evening, 50 miles an hour or more. After that, though, yes, rain at the end of the week, but it's drier through the weekend and the temperature's really on the climb. It'll feel very warm and like spring at the start of next week.
At last. Now, just before we go last week, BBC London had a special programme in which we asked, do you trust the Met? Well, just a reminder that it's now available on the BBC iPlayer. Go to the iPlayer online or the BBC app and search for BBC London. And of course, much more in all of today's other stories online and on that app. You can download it onto your mobile phone by downloading the app and selecting London for the latest in the capital, including more on this week's strikes. That's it from me. We'll be back again with the Tea Time programme at 6:30. Until then, have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.